I'll be showing you the rarest badges I've personally seen in Apex Legends. If you've played enough, you've probably built up a large collections of badges yourself, and you probably don't quite know what shows off the most prowess, so to speak. Here's a look at the top 10 rarest badges ranked from least rare to most rare. Some badges have multiple tiers, so we'll be focusing on the highest tier of those badges as they are of course going to be the rarest. Number 10, Live Die Live. Up first we have Live Die Live, otherwise known as the Valentine's badge. It dropped around Valentine's Day, the very same month Apex Legends launched. Now, whilst many people show off this badge as a way to say they're an early supporter of the game, it was at a point where the game had the biggest hype and perhaps the biggest active player base, or at least close to it. It's rare, but I am seeing it a lot more these days. It was hard to rank this badge higher, but I'd say I see it more than the 20 kill badge. However, I feel like those that have better badges are likely to show those off instead, so many more players probably have the badge and just don't show it to us. Number 9, 20 kill badge. Even after all these months, getting 20 kills in Apex Legends is a very difficult feat. In fact, getting 20 kills has arguably become harder. As the average player has sunk more hours into the game, it's harder to find enough players to eliminate in time before other players do it themselves. People are still dropping 20 bombs every day, which means it's still a very easily obtainable badge in terms of this list, but I'm seeing it become far harder for players to achieve. On top of this, whilst the Shadowfall event did have a glitch that let players get 20 kill badges on shadows, it was patched very quickly after it first made its way into the game. This means the only way you're going to get the badge now on your account is by being fair and square. It's so hard in fact that many players team up together and work to take it in turns to feed each other kills. 20 squad kills is certainly an easier feat, but still challenging. Number 8, Absolute Monarchy badge. The Absolute Monarchy badge will be the first of many badges in this list to feature a trend, getting rewarded with being versatile with all legends. The thing that most Apex Legends players are missing out on is getting enough experience with all legends, and the Absolute Monarchy badge required you to get a win in the limited time solo mode event with 10 different legends. This was when there were only 10 legends in the game, which means you were forced to play every legend. With rampant third partying, many players gave up showing their progress to this badge or just didn't even bother trying. With that being said, this was certainly one of the easier multi-legend badges to earn, and I certainly saw more players achieve it than some of the rarer badges I'll be talking about in a minute. They could have made Absolute Monarchy more challenging and that would have upped its rarity, but it seems the last few events have had relatively easy badges to unlock. Number 7, the Apex Predator badge. With just 0.2% of players reaching Apex Predator in Series 1, it's safe to say it's a rare badge. It's certainly up there amongst the rarest badges of them all. To top it off, that 0.2% number only includes those that played more than 5 hours of ranked. Unfortunately, we can't really get any precise numbers of how many players actually have this badge, but I can admit that I couldn't manage to get it. You needed a solid squad or some incredible patience if playing solo, and most importantly, you need the time to grind the games to get there. For many people, it was a challenge that could not be accomplished. Many players found they'd get to a certain rank and get stuck there, and Diamond 4 was perhaps the biggest example of this. You'd have a very big mix of players in Diamond lobbies. You'd have players that had the skill level to just make it into Diamond, and those that had what it took to get to Predator, and in some cases multiple thousands of RP all thrown into the same lobby, and that is quite a massive skill range. Number 6, the 4000 damage badge. Up next we of course have the 4000 damage badge. Now that World's Edge and more importantly the charge rifle exists, I believe this has become easier to earn, but even still it's no easy feat. Sometimes you'll find yourself getting over 20 kill games and still not getting 4k damage. It makes sense, even with 20 kills you'd need to do an average of 200 damage per kill, and with teammates and a lack of level 3 armor around the map that becomes very challenging. What's crazy though is that some players have racked up intense games with almost 7k damage. Daltouche recently dropped over 6k damage with just 20 kills, so that's over 300 damage per kill. What's more impressive is that he did that with a wingman. Number 5, the Elite 888 badge. The Elite 888 badge is like the Absolute Monarchy badge on steroids. It dropped during a limited time event where players had to get in the top 5 to be placed in an elite queue. Only players who placed top 5 in their previous match could play in it, but if you didn't place top 5 whilst in the elite queue, you could have one forgiveness game before being sent back to casuals. The Elite 888 badge required you to get 8 wins whilst in this queue, with each win having 8 kills, but you had to repeat that across 8 different legends, so each win had to be a different legend. I attempted it myself but gave up at the time. There were so many rampant aim botters for me, I could hardly even survive till top 5. There was also another badge that showcased your elite streak. A number was added for each time you survived till top 5 in the elite queue. I've seen numbers like 140, that's 140 consecutive games hitting top 5, but since there's no real tier for this, I decided not to include it in this video. What's the highest elite streak badge you've seen, and what did you personally think of that game mode? Number 4, bonus round animated badge. Up next we have the bonus round badge. This was essentially one for the completionists. In season 1 they had a strange battle pass system that rewarded you with bonus points for playing each legend. You could get a total of 250,000 bonus points, and it was based on the experience you earned from each match. The badge itself had 2 tiers, one for getting 250k XP on 7 legends and one for getting 250k XP on 9 legends. The tricky part, however, was that the bonus XP was capped at 25,000 each week. You could retroactively go back and earn any missed XP in future weeks, but that just added more gameplay hours for you to crunch through with even less time to do it. Players would have to spend roughly 3 hours per day for 10 weeks straight to get the full 250,000 experience across all 9 legends. Number 3, the Wild Frontier Champion animated badge. Now let me know if I'm wrong here, but I feel like the Wild Frontier Champion animated badge is even rarer than the bonus round badge. For this badge you had to get a total of 350 wins in season 1. Not so difficult for some players, right? But the challenging part is that you had to do it across 7 legends, so in total that was 50 wins across 7 legends each. This was back when Gibraltar and Caustic weren't so good. They did get a buff later in the season, but with 8 legends at the time, we were forced to play one of them. The other legends weren't such a problem, but being able to put down 350 wins across 7 legends, regardless, isn't any easy task. Most players would like to get really good with 1 or 2 legends, so moving out to 7 and trying to get good with them all became very difficult for a lot of players. Number 2, Baller. I'm not sure where to put this one because it's not based on skill, and honestly I don't think I've seen it at all. That's not to say people haven't earned it, but I think displaying it is more embarrassing than it is impressive. To get the Baller badge you need to own 125 legendary items. There's not really too much more to it than that, and besides the badge itself really isn't all that impressive. Number 1, Crypto 100 Wins badge. Now with the season being just a few weeks old, it shouldn't be any surprise that not many people have the 100 Wins Crypto badge yet. Over time this badge will drop in rarity, but for now it remains to be the rarest badge in Apex Legends simply because so few people have even attempted it, and Crypto just hasn't been out long enough. Whilst tracker websites aren't reliable, they can give some estimates, and on apextracker.gg there's just 110 players with 100 or more wins on Crypto across all platforms. If you're curious, the current win record holder is Lil Spooky, who has 373 wins with Crypto and over 6,000 kills at the time of making this video. We've got one final badge that I will include as sort of an honorable mention. I won't include it officially in the list because it's not obtainable by normal players. This is the Respawn Dev badge. This is what it looks like, as you can see on the screen now. Have you ever seen this badge in game? I've personally never seen anybody with this badge in the game despite playing for a long time, so I'm very curious if anyone's actually ever seen this badge. So that's it, that's the top 10 badges ranked. How would you rank these badges? Let me know by leaving a comment below. And if it doesn't come to rarity, what are the badges you like the most in the game? And if you could add your very own badge, what would it be, what would the requirements be, and what would it look like? And that's it from me. If you didn't know already, I'm streaming daily on Twitch at twitch.tv/thegamingmerchant from 11 AM PST. And on top of that, there are new ways to support me, so check the pinned comment for links to Apex coins and the new physical edition over on Amazon. It's straight through EA, but by going through those links you can support me a little bit. So if you do that, thank you very much, and please let me know what your thoughts are on this style of video. It's a bit different than usual. If you like it, let me know. If you don't, let me know too. Alright, I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio. Oh, and in case you missed it, I'm currently doing a 2-week community challenge encouraging everyone to play as a Shadow in the new Shadowfall mode. The 10 players with the most kills by the time the event ends will be rewarded with a prize. Here is the overview from my other video. I'll put a link in the description if you want to watch the full video. Shadowfall is awesome, but there's one big problem. There's not enough incentive to play as the Shadows and people are quitting. So here's my solution. Introducing the Gaming Merchant Shadowfall Community Challenge. Here's how it works. You have 2 weeks to get as many kills as possible in the new Shadowfall mode, but only kills as a shadow count. All submissions must be posted on YouTube with the hashtag Gaming Merchant Shadowfall Challenge in the description. If you don't do that, then I can't find the video. The official rules are quite simple, and on November 2nd I will contact those that have won. There will be 10 winners and the prizes are as follows. Now, in the case of a tie, the published date will be considered. For example, if all top 10 scores somehow get 34 legend kills, then the person to post first wins, and the second posted video gets the next prize, and so on. The entire gameplay video must be uploaded, and please put the kill count in the title too. And if you cannot record your voice or audio, don't worry. Also, please include some way for me to contact you. Put a Twitter or Discord name in your video description, and watch out for my message in 2 weeks' time.